Good afternoon, Spartans. This is Mrs. Brockwell, and I am going to be reading you a story for a vocabulary lesson. The story that I'm going to read for you today is called The Word Collector, and it is written by Peter Reynolds. And I'm able to read this to you today because Scholastic has given us permission to read their books online until the end of June because of the coronavirus. So thank you, Scholastic. All right, the words that I want you to listen for today are marvelous, jumbled, and scurrying. Okay, when you hear those words, I want you to tell the person in the room with you, I want you to give them a thumbs up, not tell them, but I want you to give them a thumbs up that you hear that word, okay? Collectors collect things. Some people collect stamps. Some people collect coins. Others collect rocks. Some collect art. Some collect bugs, and others collect baseball cards. Some people collect comic books. And Jerome, what did he collect? Jerome collected words. He collected words he heard. My trip to Peru was perfectly pleasant. Certain words caught his attention. He collected words he saw. Willow. Certain words jumped out at him. He collected words he read. Emerald. Certain words popped off the page. Short and sweet words like spark, bloom, drift, dream, two-syllable treats, treasure, motif, whisper, glimmer, hover, candid, and multi-syllable words that sounded like little songs, guacamole, kaleidoscope, wonderful, symphony, geometry. There were words he did not know the meaning of at first, but they were marvelous to say. Did you hear that word? Like aromatic, vociferous, effervescent. There were words whose sounds were perfectly suited to their meaning. Molasses, torrential, smudge, bellow, Tyrannosaurus rex. Marvelous means extremely good. Now think about, Jerome said that words were marvelous to say. They were really good to say. Jerome filled his scrapbooks with more and more of his favorite words. Jerome's collection grew. He began organizing them. Dreamy, science, sad, action, poetic. One day, while transporting them, Jerome slipped and his words went flying. As he began to pick them up, he noticed his collections had become jumbled. Ooh, did we hear that? Big words were next to little words, sad words next to dreamy words. Jumbled. It means mixed up or untidy. Think about how his words became jumbled after they fell out of the wagon. They became mixed up or untidy. Jerome began stringing words together. Whisper, symphony, electric, peace. Words he had not imagined being side by side. Savor, dreams, cascading, stars. He used his words to write poems. He used his poems to make songs. They moved. They delighted. Some of the simplest words were his most powerful. I understand. I'm sorry. Thank you. You matter. Jerome eagerly collected more and more of his favorite words. more words he knew, the more clearly he could share with the world what he was thinking, feeling, and dreaming. One breezy afternoon, Jerome climbed the highest hill, pulling a wagon packed with his word collection. He smiled as he emptied his collection of words into the wind. He saw children in the valley below scurrying about, collecting words from the breeze. Scurrying means to move in a hurry. Think about all the children in the valley moving in a hurry to get the words, or to get as many words as they could. Scurrying. Jerome had no words to describe how happy that made him. A little note from the author says, reach for your own words, tell the world who you are and how you will make it better, by Peter Hamilton Reynolds. Marvelous means extremely good. Here's an example I have of using marvelous in a sentence. Coming to school every day is a marvelous way to do good in school. Now I want you to think of how you can use the word marvelous in a sentence. Think to yourself for a moment, what would be extremely good? Now I want you to share that sentence with somebody in your house. Jumbled means mixed up or untidy. Here's the example I have. The backpacks are all jumbled together on the floor. Now I want you to think for a minute, what you can think of that becomes mixed up or untidy. I'm sure your parents have a few ideas. Think about how you can use the word jumbled in a sentence. Now share it with somebody in your house. Scurrying means to move in a hurry. Here's my example. The students were scurrying to get lined up for recess. Well, we don't have recess going on right now, but while we're closed for the coronavirus, I want you to think of some things people might be scurrying to get their hands on. Think to yourself for a moment. Now I want you to share with somebody in your family the word scurrying in a sentence. Thank you for listening to today's vocabulary lesson. I hope you enjoyed the story. I really hope you're using some of those new vocabulary words in your everyday conversations. If you come up with a good sentence that you would like to share with me, you can do so in the comment section of Dojo and I'll respond to you. Or I'm also going to post this on Twitter and you can respond on Twitter and I'll respond back to you. Keep using those great words in your conversations. Big words lead to big dreams.